everybody. We're back with another segment, or whatever we call this, of Yin and Yancy. Blending our perspectives again from an athlete and practitioner or coach perspective. And actually, I have a question this time, a topic for us today. And I think any coach and athlete will be able to relate to this. So my question for you is, from your perspective, right? I know there's been many times with us, I'm sure there's many times with, at Gracie Technics, at Strength and Conditioning, at someplace else. What helps you when you're getting coached on something that you're not getting immediately? Meaning that if you're making a correction or something, whatever it is, can be striking, whatever, you try to make this correction and it's like, you understand, but you physically being able to do it or, do the changes that we're coaching you. For me too, right? Do that at the level that you want. What helps you to progress better, or how do we need to deliver the message or the instruction, or how do we make you learn faster?
Well, first and foremost, bro, is reps.
Yep.
Right? You never gonna get better at running if you're just thinking about it. You gotta put the road work in, right? And you gotta run, right? You wanna be better at punching, bro, punch that punching bag.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're gonna understand how to self-soothe, self-reflect, right? But for me, it's like I'll give a good example is that when I'm working with my striking coach, Coach Ivan, like we have a relationship where I trust him, where he knows the best and worst parts of me.
Yep.
My attributes, my skills, and like for me, like that's where I can trust him to see where you can bring out my best tools. Like I give him that role where if you're going to a blacksmith, bro, that's my blacksmith. Mm-hmm. I'm going over there. He's gonna one that's gonna help me sharpen my sword, make sure it's all good, right? Like knights, warriors, all samurais, all those guys, right? They have certain guys. I don't like go to that one. I go to him. Like it's. I always try and relate it into those means of like what I want to do, but I was ranting off so long that I forgot the main topic.
It was just what helps you to pick up.
Yeah, so I'm going with Ivan, and he's a perfectionist, right? And he taught me like he's not like practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Yes, I agree. Yep.
Right? So because bro, I've been doing things for over a decade, and I wasn't practicing it with I was practicing it with a different intent. Right? I wasn't looking at it this way or a different perspective. And just practicing something with a different perspective changes so much. You have a view of something and you look at it a different way. You know what I mean? Looking at it from here and then looking at something like this, bro, totally different. You know what I mean? Like when I'm like trying to like see where my niece is and everything and then misplace something, like it's hard for me to look like this. Like, get down and look where they're at, because that's where it's gonna be. Right, but I learned that from, being in the moment with things, and like, so with him, he would be teaching me, and I just wouldn't be getting it internally. I'm like, and he can see it too. We've been working so long already, and he doesn't care. He just like, come on, let's just keep going, and he just keeps repping it out until I get it, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, wait, coach. And I just freaking, literally like, just stop everything I do, and I'm just focus on my breathing, because I just feel like I'm getting too much input and I'm not getting enough output. I'm putting too much information in myself, my thoughts, I'm overthinking, just go back to breathing, bro. Like, do something that you can do. Right? I think that we all forget that as humans, but especially athletes. When you flow, bro, and you're in the zone, the breathing is second nature.
That's so interesting, because that's from your perspective, right? And this is the whole purpose of these conversations, right? Is one, we get to share a lot, but like lending our perspectives, because there's a couple of things that I want to highlight out of there. And I think the first one is that you already said it. And even, when we've had certain things that, I can sense like, okay, you're not quite getting it, or maybe you're getting frustrated or overwhelmed or information overload, paralysis analysis, whatever it is. That only came with time. Because that's the thing, like athletes, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, this coach just doesn't know how to teach me or doesn't know how to get me. Well, if you only knew that coach for a couple months, you got to give the coach some leeway too, because you guys are still trying to figure out how to work best with each other, right? That's the first thing. I think you need to develop that relationship. So I can sense what's difficult for you or how to attack this a little bit, and you can also have that trust in me that I understand what some of the things that you're trying to do is or whatever, right? It's just that relationship needs to build, and that gets better over seasons, over time, right?
Well, for me too, I already put myself in that like mindset. Like I felt like you were gonna heal. Like it was to better me. It wasn't just to better me as an athlete. Like I was gonna get better, you know, inside and out. It's not just how I perform; it's how I do it outside when I'm home. When I'm right. There's all these things that really like you know like you don't get good without homework. You just like
exactly. And that's kind of the second point that I wanted to mention too, is that you said you started off by like you just need to rep it out. And that's true. And then you said, you built off of that. You said, yeah, like Ivan, I think we have a lot of overlapping philosophies. You know, he came on and we talked story on the podcast too.
Yeah.
It's, perfect practice is what makes it ingrained, right? That you can replicate it. And like you said, I think not only with striking, right, a lot of the things that you do everywhere, your intent and your focus is different now. Like you're doing it a little better, right? And I always give this example that, you know, like whatever. Let's say you want to be a better basketball player, a better shooter, right? I can tell you, go to the court and shoot 100 free throws. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
If you don't care if you make them or not. I can just throw up 100 free throws, right? And you could have literally made none of them.
Yeah.
But if you go over there and you're like, okay, I gotta fix something. This is why I'm missing short, or this is why my release is funny, or whatever. And you focus on that, and you start making more free throws. That's the perfect practice, right? That you're talking about with anything.
Yeah.
So it's for the athlete and for the practitioner too, especially when you're here. And sometimes it might be like, oh man, this is a lot. But I'm super anal about doing it correctly. Because and you see me all the time, if it's like to the point where for that day, that's the most that you're going to do it correctly, then I'm not going to make you do some more, right? Because it's just going to be counterproductive at that point, right?
Yeah.
So it's, the coach needs to understand that, yes, you need reps, but not poor reps. You need to understand that, like, you need to be accountable for that too, right?
Yeah.
Listen to your body. And then I think the key thing from this whole conversation is that the better the relationship is between coach and athlete or whatever, right? I think that's what helps me to figure out how to coach you better, and you how to figure out or trust that I'm going to coach you to help you get better, right? Yeah. I mean,
but like for me, I use a lot of like analogies that help me just like say me, I'm a king and I have my kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I have my councilmen.
Yep.
I have people that I need to trust, right? Because when I see things like that, I always see like businesses, corporations, they all have a top guy and they have a round table of people that you want to entrust and be able to build, because it's being in this career, bro, it's hard. It's very overwhelming to carry the weight of everything. Mm-hmm. Not even a king can do that, bro. Yep. There's not one king that can run the kingdom by himself.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a team, right? And those are the things that I relate to. And it's like, you need a good queen, you need good councilmen, right? So you can be the best king you can be for your kingdom, right? In that sense, and everybody has a different dynasty, right? Everybody has a different way they want to rule their kingdom and be a king, be an alpha. I'm going all back to those things again, right? And I think that's that part, right? And then for me, through the whole dynasty of me trying to be a king, like there's ups and downs, but I was never unhappy. Yeah. Because I was always around good company. Yeah. I had people that actually cared for me. Right? When I was down, they still genuinely loved me. Right? Like that's the difference. Like there's a lot of people that can get into the higher end and you can get washed up and washed out, bro. Yeah. Right? From the environment, and that's just what it is. And I learned that from that. So I see who I would stay connected to, and it's like going back to that, another analogy is like an orchestra. Yeah. Everybody, all my people, they all play on different instruments. Yeah, exactly. But they all help me tune and right? Like so that's how I do it, bro. My fucking symphony is mean. I get like
that is a perfect example, and this is completely off of where I wanted to go, but this is good because like that's very true. Like maybe we don't talk to each other a lot, but you're kind of the conductor that's orchestrating.
I have to because it's my song.
Exactly. And
it's my tune, bro. Right?
I was playing some random right? And then you had Ivan and everyone else playing their own thing. It would sound like chaotic.
I would do this to you, and it'd be like, bro, I just keep looking at you because you're not of sync with them, right? Like,
so the bottom line of that, because the bottom line is that I think going back to helping you as an athlete, right, is that one, we need to build that trust and everything, but you need to it's that two-way communication, I think. You need to be accountable and tell us how we can help you, within reason, of course. Like, we're not just going to be your yes man, right? But at the same time, we're going to try to fit our piece of the puzzle to help you learn as best as you can. And the last thing that I want to say about this is, I think when you build this trust and relationship, that's positive, right? One, we can be very upfront and honest and blunt with each other when something's not working, and we don't take it personally, right? Because we know that the intent is good. Like, if you tell me, you know what, this didn't feel good, this didn't work, I believe you.
And then you're gonna ask me why, so you understand. It's not, why, exactly. This works.
Exactly.
Oh no, what? Because I was in the help of, I'm the same way with people when I train or whatnot, I could be training with Max right now. He's getting ready for a fight, right? And he has sparring days, and I'll just go there, bro. And he doesn't need me.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just there because I can be, and I want to be there. I know my role. If you don't need me in this role, I just here because one, I don't get my training in. But in the same thing too, I'm there for my boy. Whether he needs me or not, I'm there.
Yeah.
Obviously that's not the role he needs me to play for his Juliana. Right? So I don't personalize those things. I'm that. I just learn and collect data, right? Because that helps me. Yeah. Hey bro, I'm always here. And if it's something that I fail to see, I'm gonna try my best to see it better, right? And not gonna be get into these fields of I don't know why he don't spark. I'm bro, it obviously doesn't need me, right? You know what I'm saying? That's I don't see how people personalize that too much. Sorry.
No, I think that's before.
I know my role, bro.
Exactly.
And
everyone has a role, right? Yeah, and I think that's the thing with athletes, right? Athletes of any level, any age, right?
Yeah.
I think tying it back to everything, right? Is one, to be able to receive coaching or advice or whatever, I think you need a relationship. You guys need to develop a relationship between all of the coaches or who's helping you. And the second thing is that both ways, there has to be two-way communication, but both sides, it's not personal. Don't have malintent or try to walk over people or put them down or be confrontational, I guess. It's just trying to communicate things honestly, openly, and not take it personal, and just know that you guys are all working together, like you said, like an orchestra, to create some type of outcome
symphony
or music, right? Yeah, so I think that's the bottom line. You have anything to add on to that?
No, I mean, just find the right people that know their roles and what they do, right? A punter isn't gonna go and be a quarterback in the third quarter, bro, when they're down by 2 points. However, right? They know their roles and what needs to be done. You see what's going on, right? When third quarter is third and long, it's fourth and long. What's happening?
Yeah.
There's a role to be played. Okay, the punter he's probably gonna come in and do their job, right? There might be changed up in different situations.
Yeah.
For different times, there's different times called for different situations, but that's as in life. That's the athletic part.
That's what it is. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully that helped a lot of you guys, because from an athlete's perspective, from a coaching perspective, right, it's figuring out how to be on the same page, open communication to tell each other what you need and make it productive and all of that. And I think, I don't know, for me the take home point was that you need to build that relationship, because then that'll kind of build a platform and foundation for everything else that you can work on technical wise. I can understand how to coach you, you can understand how to receive the coaching, right? You can communicate better and all of that. So I know that's a common theme with all athletes, that you run into that sometime where it's not the best relationship or not the best environment to be productive or coach you. So I think this is interesting perspectives from both of us. So anyway.
Well, it's mine. Yeah, it's real.
We don't know if this is the right way to do it. We're just sharing some insights. So yeah, hopefully you can take in some of that. If you have any questions, comments, feedback for us, we're just trying to share some perspectives. But feel free to contact us on social media or wherever you see this up. And other than that, stay tuned for more segments. Aloha.